right, I will now call this Senate meeting to order on Monday, January 25th, 2021 at 6:01 p.m. We will now proceed with roll call.
Senator Aslan,
Present.
Senator Beck,
Excused.
Senator Brim,
Present.
Senator Burnett,
Present.
Senator Childerson,
Present.
Senator Gorin,
Present.
Senator Hawkins,
Present.
Senator Ho,
Oh, unexcused.
Senator Jackson,
Unexcused.
Senator Jones,
Excused.
Senator Morgan,
Unexcused.
Senator Obert,
Present.
Senator Odell,
Present.
Senator Perry,
Present.
Senator Pruitt,
Present.
Senator Randolph,
Present.
Senator Sherman,
Present.
Senator Shahan,
Present.
Senator Shao,
Present.
Senator Wheeler,
Present.
Senator Winsing,
Present.
President Walters,
Present.
Vice President Akpan,
Present.
Student Trustee Graham,
Present.
Financial Officer Dreppert,
Present.
Internal Affairs Officer Lutz,
Present.
External Affairs Officer Kyle,
Present.
Marketing Communications Officer Ballard,
Present.
Organization Relations Officer Akpan,
Present.
Student Diversity Officer McKinsey.
Present.
Right. Moving on to line item 3, guest speaker. Our guest speaker for the night will be Dennis Swoby, the Director of Dining Services. Doesn't look like, I don't believe he's on here, so I will move on to the next line item, which will be line item 4, approval of minutes. I will give you a brief moment to look over the minutes from last Senate meeting, and when ready, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Senator Aslan, I motion to approve the minutes.
Moved to approve by Senator Aslan. Is there a second?
Senator Shahan, second.
Seconded by Senator Shahan. We will now proceed with a roll call vote.
Senator Aslan,
Aye.
Senator Brim,
Aye.
Senator Burnett,
Aye.
Senator Childerson,
Aye.
Senator Gorin,
Aye.
Senator Hawkins,
Aye.
Senator Obert,
Aye.
Senator Odell,
Aye.
Senator Perry,
Aye.
Senator Pruitt,
Aye.
Senator Randolph,
Aye.
Senator Sherman,
Aye.
Senator Shahan,
Aye. Sorry.
Senator Shao,
Aye.
Senator Wheeler,
Aye.
and Senator Winsing.
Aye.
All right. Moving on to line item 5, additions to agenda. Seeing none. Okay, so I'm sorry about that, Dennis. So our guest speaker tonight, Dennis Swoby, is here. I apologize. There was a mishap. I made a mistake earlier. So thank you for coming out today, Dennis. Our Director for Dining Services, will be speaking about the conditions of dining services. Thank you for coming out today. You'll have 10 minutes to speak and Senate to respond.
Yeah, sorry, I've got some little kiddos running around, so I'm hiding out in here real quick. So thank you for inviting me. And yes, usually when I come and speak and give you guys updates, I have probably lots of information about renovations and different changes for future projects. But today, as I said, we'll be kind of discussing the effects COVID has had on dining services, as well as, SIUE. So again, my name is Dennis Wabi. I've been Director of Dining Services since 2008. And I will kind of just give you a little brief overview of where we started with COVID. So back in March, we were open, remained open. And unfortunately, as things progress, like everybody knows, we've had to make some challenges. And right now we're faced with our sales and our traffic is down about 60-70%. So we've had to make some major adjustments, and that's likely what you're seeing. These decisions were not made lightly. We looked at lots of different factors with traffic, and ultimately we really needed to condense and reallocate some of our condensed operations and reallocate our labor. So I'll go through a little bit, and anytime anybody want to jump in with some questions, I'd be more than happy to answer. As you can see, the major ones, Casina is we temporarily closed Casina. Fixins was already closed. And then we had some redundancies in coffee shops with Caldi's, like Starbucks Library. So we looked at those and were able to consolidate into the MUC location of Starbucks. The Walk also. And now we're looking at trying to, we've had some comments and trying to look at different ways to offer the variety, because that's what most of the residents and students want, and trying to figure out how to do that. We're looking at this week, and we'll continue to add in Center Court some of the Casina options and the Walk options there, because they had a lot of great vegetarian abilities there. So we are adding those to entrees and the sidebar. And to kind of before this, we some of the reductions we had to make is we've a third of the civil service positions have not been refilled, so they remain open. And as a lot of you know, student employees are very minimal right now. We're just, as I said, reallocating and change people's hours around to reallocate the labor and try to make it through. This has been very challenging, and dining services. If we continue to go the route with everything open, we're talking millions and millions of dollars that we'd be in the hole, and we wouldn't be able to, when we finally come out of this, we wouldn't be able to do the renovations and keep up with all the things that students require and want. Does anybody have any questions, or, I mean, because.
Thank you, Dennis.
No problem.
There any
I'm sorry to be a buzzkill here, but.
Oh, no, no problem. Thank you. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, I'll entertain a motion to open the floor for discussion.
Senator Shahan, so moved.
Moved by Senator Shahan. Is there a second?
Second, Senator Perry.
Seconded by Senator Perry. The floor is now open for discussion.
Hi, Senator Perry here. I have a question for you. So you mentioned that you've cut about 2/3 of the civil service employees, but
Sorry, one third. I'm sorry.
Oh, 1/3. Okay.
Yes.
How many student employees have you guys cut?
Well, this semester, 2/3. Let me get my. We are. I think it's 215, I believe, is the number. But we're continuing adding right now. We're slowly adding positions back as we see the demand, and we hope to get everybody back on board. We just really, I think we were really thrown for a loop since the beginning, thinking on ground, and the classes meant something different a little bit. The frequency that people would be coming to campus and coming to the University Center. Now we're faced with some weather challenges. So it's there are students are already not in the core campus on the quad, and now they're having just the patterns that we used to have, people to hang out and go to the MEC, and that's not happening. The seating and a lot of other factors.
Trustee Graham, I just wanted to ask what considerations were made when you guys chose to lay off as many student positions as you did compared to prioritizing those under full-time workers?
We looked at a lot of different factors, but some of it being where we could consolidate and student schedules and training. So in some circumstances, some students are really well trained, but that is a factor to train people into new positions. It takes more labor. So that was looked at, but it was easier. We have unions and contracts, and we already knew that this was going to be the case. Minimum wage is always been on the table for the past couple of years, and some of these plans were already set, I'm not set, but were thought about of how do we work with minimum wage? How do we work with, as you can see, summers and everything else is going a lot more online. So how do we work with that? And that's, we did a lot of different studies and with our NACUFS group, and a little bit more productivity in general out of the civil service. And there's also students, we give time to study and the class schedules. So it's very difficult to keep somebody for an entire shift. A lot of times it might be 3 or 4 hours. So.
Yeah, if I can help you, Dennis, Trustee Graham, we were contractually held by a majority of the professional positions in dining services are civil service. And so, and also represented by bargaining units. So we were required to keep a majority of those. The positions we didn't fill, and Dennis, I think it's over 20 at last count staff positions in dining that we've not filled or vacant. And unfortunately, Dennis was right. We cut 213 or 15 student jobs this fiscal year, but totally we're down about 300 plus student workers in dining. And a lot of it has to do with traffic flow and students living in, and when, we don't have, as you may all recall, we're used to having lots of events in the MUC, lots of catered events, student award ceremonies and those type of things with food. And we are doing none of those at the moment due to mitigation. So we've really lost a big part of that is our student catering staff as well, that just right now is non-existent. So and we're hopeful, Dennis will smile, we'll all smile. We are hopeful that as the mitigations change and the tiers change and we move from tier 2 to tier 1 and then back to phase 4, we can have 50 people in an event, and we move this summer. And hopefully in the fall, where we're doing a lot more of the things we're used to, we will look to hire students back in the roles as we expand our offerings in the fall. At least that's the plan.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, it's very unfortunate that we can't have more students with us right now. But
Senator Perry here again. I know this is a really far-fetched idea, but a lot of students on campus are utilizing DoorDash. Have you guys considered an on-campus delivery system from the dining center?
Yes, we are. And we have looked into, we have some conversations. It gets a little bit more difficult when you have the card system. So that's where we get held up a little bit. We'd like to start implementing as ASAP, but that is the major issue. And then couple that with the chains we have like Starbucks and Chick-fil-A. We're getting close with them to go to a mobile ordering system, at least mobile pickup. But that's been, and Starbucks is they're tackling this, which is trying to get that meal plan and declining balance and using those for all universities. So we don't want to offer something that our residents can't use with the meal plan to other ones, the DoorDash. So we're trying to figure out, and hopefully, I know Starbucks is so huge that I'm hopeful that they will have some kind of solution, and we'll probably piggyback on that. And because you don't want to have 3 different systems operating and everybody trying to swipe at different things. But that's a great question, and if not, we're planning on doing some stuff on our own.
Senator Shahan, thank you so much for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. I have a quick question about how you prioritized like cutting student jobs within dining services. Were work study students prioritized over just general students to make sure that they were still getting that money towards their education?
We didn't, unfortunately, no, we did not. We mostly looked at the ones that are coming back, that they had the training. We have very minimal, as Dr. Whipple said. And a lot of it was built on training or seniority.
So an important thing to know, Senator Sheehan, is that when COVID hit in March, we agreed to pay all of our student workers through May. But we didn't renew any jobs after that. We had already started the not renewing position. So there weren't really work study jobs that we cut. We just didn't hire anyone new into those roles because we knew what dining was going to look like in the fall. So if I'm correct, I'm correct in saying that, right, Dennis?
Yes.
Yep. And I'll just add food for thought, and maybe I've shared this with you all before. It's been a struggle. We've cut over 500 jobs in our division of student affairs alone. I don't like it. And so we're hoping as we come, like I said, as we come out of these mitigations and in the fall, we will hiring a lot of students back into our areas. But dining, the MUC and Campus Rec are probably the biggest places we've lost student workers.
If there are no more questions, I'll entertain a motion to close the floor for discussion.
Senator Aslan, so moved.
Moved by Senator Aslan. Is there a second?
Senator Brim, second.
Seconded by Senator Brim. Floor is now closed for discussion. Thank you very much, Dennis.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful evening.
Okay. Moving on to line item 6, old business. Line 1, COVID updates. I'll now hand it over to our COVID coordinator, Mike Schultz.
Let's see if I can share screen here. Okay, so last time we talked, it was all about planning, getting things ready to go. We were looking at implementing. And so let me give you an update of where we ended up. So the facts are that to date, we have 7,328 students, faculty, and staff on all 3 campuses that we have reentry test results back on. Happy to report 7,267 were negative, and then 47 positive. And I got a little scared on Friday evening because within 5 seconds, I got 12 positives and I couldn't figure out what was going on. But it was kind of as we were wrapping up, that's what happened. But it again settled down after that. We had 14 inconclusive tests. So we ended up with a positivity rate of 0.64. So remember that 0.64 because I'm going to share some data with you a little bit later. So that's kind of where we ended up with reentry testing. I I feel real good about the participation we had. Feel real good about the process once we got through the first day or so. We started off real bumpy, but by the time we got past that first day, things just seemed to roll pretty smooth. So the other thing that we did while you guys were on break is we put out a new dashboard, and I don't know if anyone's had a chance to look at it online, but there's a histogram. On the top, you can move so that the dates will get smaller or larger, whatever you want to look at. So you have that ability to do it. I'm on a PowerPoint slide, so I'm not live on it. Or did I just lose it? What are you seeing? Just empty? Oh, I guess I'm going live. So there's the histogram. And like I said, you can move it or get it a little bit smaller. I think it's one thing that you need to be real understand about this is this is showing data through Thursday. So it updates every day, 5 days a week at midnight. So tonight it will update to show everything that happened over the weekend. And you're going to see some pretty big jumps for 2 days or a day here. So be aware of that. But it wouldn't be anything different than would have had. It's going to be less than what happened here. So, but this is a good tool for you to look at the history of that. What you have are faculty and staff in the darker color, and the lighter color is students. And then this gives you the 7-day average of the bar. Now let me see if I can get back to the PowerPoint. Yep, there. And so these are the gauges that are tied to the mitigations and triggers committee's work. So what'll happen is if we get to 113 cases of students, this will trigger some mitigations. And you could go and look at that report, which is online. Right now we're at 25 active cases, and that's 2 weeks worth of active. For faculty and staff, when we get to 37, then it starts looking at some mitigations. And then if we get over 50, get to the 50% point of isolation and quarantine space in university housing, that would also set us off on mitigation. So you'll see these gauges on the website. This is four different stops on the dashboard page. Each line is a separate trigger point. And so this is what you see that happened in the last 7 days. And you should know that this only updates anything from here. Keep on clicking to the page. So this is going live again. No, it's not. So this is anything to the left here is getting updated on Friday night. So remember I told you to think of that 0.64 or whatever positivity rate. This is what the positivity rates are in the area. Madison County, St. Clair, Region 4, and then St. Louis County and City. So those are out there. And then something that you used to see on the old site, just giving you a history of what's in the histogram there. So that's on the dashboard. Today we started with surveillance testing. We're in O200 in the Student Success Center, and you can see the times that we are there. We are at the dental school Now, the dental students are mandatory testing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but faculty and staff will now be in surveillance testing during those same time periods. And then East St. Louis campus is on Tuesday morning. Again, it's a random sample that goes out with invites every Thursday for the following week to urge participation. We're inviting people, but it should also be noted that anyone that wants to be tested is more than welcome to go ahead and get an appointment through Aura, and you'll be able to get tested. And again, I think I brought this to you earlier. These are the incentives that are provided. Cougar Bucks will hit accounts at the end of the week. Questions, I'll be happy to answer, but I know one question that Senator Perry said was out there, and I appreciate the heads up on it. Does the GX COVID test detect any of the muted strands? And so I went right to the lab to get the answer. They say it does, but they can't identify what strand it is. It'll just provide a positive or a negative result. So that's what I've got. Be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Mike. If there are any questions, I'll entertain a motion to open the floor for discussion.
Senator Aslam, so moved.
Moved by Senator Aslam. Is there a second?
Senator Shahan, second.
Seconded by Senator Shahan. The floor is now open for discussion.
Senator Aslan, first off, really impressed with your PowerPoint game. Like, genuinely, those animations were great. Second off, I was just curious about the communication that we've been receiving from like the chancellors and just in general about COVID, specifically the return to tier 2, I believe, mitigations that we received on Friday at 5:30, especially since that impacts like whether or not GAs can be in the office or not and things of that nature. I was curious why that was sent at 5:30 on a Friday after everyone had already went home, when we would be able to work in the office on Monday, hypothetically under these new mitigations.
So it came down through the governor and Illinois Department of Public Health in, I don't know, early afternoon. Yep. Is when the information came and changed, and just to put all the information, we could just say, oh, we're going to tier 2, but to put some meaning behind it and get the information together, it just took that long to put it together and then have people review it. Not any reason to do it after 5 o'clock. We didn't want to do it after 5 o'clock, but that's how long it took. And if we would have known ahead of time that it was going to, if they would have announced it in the morning, we would have had it out a little bit earlier.
So it's just the general, how communication has been since COVID started of.
Exactly.
Yeah, Senator Aslan, like Mr. Schultz said, the governor announced that in the afternoon on Friday. And we were already going to get questions if we didn't put anything out, and we waited till Monday. So that's why it went out Friday evening to the campus. So.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Graham, Mike, could you just answer how the incentives are being funded?
So there's a, how's this whole thing being funded? The testing and so forth. I would say it's probably going to come out of CARES money that will be coming to the university, is how it will be eventually paid for. So it's not coming out of any tuition or any student fees or anything like that, but it would come out of CARES money.
One of the concerns that I've got surrounding the incentives are that those students that aren't being included in the sampling population, since they don't live within this geographic area, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's to my knowledge, they won't be included. in that sampling, so then they won't have the chance to get a tuition waiver or any of those big incentives. So there's been a lot of related student concerns.
Yeah. I heard it loud and clear when we sent out a message to that group that they had to be tested early on. We made a mistake and sent it out to that we call the remote group, and they sure were loud and clear that they didn't want to be tested. But there were a good number that did get tested in re-entry. So we're not discouraging those students to not be tested, but the overall objective and goals is to keep the university community safe, those that are going to be on campus. And if they're not going to be on campus, then there's not a reason to include them in the random sample.
Senator Tillerson, I had a quick question. I know with last year's, I guess last semester's testing site, you had to schedule it out 24 hours in advance. How far in advance do we have to schedule out a test through Aura?
You just need to have an appointment. Doesn't matter how much. So the way that I've set it up is that there's 10 slots for every 15 minutes that we're open. And as long as you have an appointment, you have one of those spots, then you can walk in. We just don't want anybody just walking in, because the only reason we need the appointments basically is so that we're keeping social distance. So long as you have a spot, it doesn't matter.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Senator Shahan, quick question, and also just a comment in general. Is there any way that you guys could possibly send out something kind of outlining to students in a message that has like a subject line dedicated to COVID, like what they need to do for the next semester and what they need to plan on? Because I know I've heard a lot from students in the past few weeks about like what's going on, how do we do this, like, etc., because they weren't reading the emails from the chancellor because they weren't subject aligned with COVID like materials. And then they didn't even know that they were sent to them because they thought it was just a normal like weekly chancellor kind of update. So is there any way that you guys could make it like a little bit more like COVID centered when you're sending those out to make sure that students know that that's the information that they need to read for sure? Because I've gotten over 50 emails now about COVID stuff before school started because people couldn't find the information.
And what kind of information are they looking for?
Basically just like the general testing requirements that they needed prior to returning to campus, and then like the things that they were going to have to do once they stayed on campus. And I understand that came out in an email, but the email wasn't like it didn't say COVID in the subject line or anything like that. So people didn't even realize that was something that they needed to be reading.
They did get an email that said that it was COVID specific. They received it.
Yes, Senator Perry's put it out there.
Yeah, it was third week of December that it was out there. And then there was another one that went out specifically on January 3rd or 4th that was specifically just COVID related, just COVID about testing. And it was also, there was information on Blackboard.
Yep.
It was amazing how many, I answered over 1,000 questions in email. And it was as simple as they deleted emails and needed new passwords that they received, because I could see that they received them because I have a record of that. Or they just weren't reading the information that was out there, or not going to the website that has all the information laid out there. I mean, if there's, I mean, we're past the testing point at this point, the mandatory testing, which I think was the major questions. So if there's something specific that you guys feel needs to be communicated, let us know, and then we'll look at that and see what's the best way of communicating that.
Yeah, I think it was majority just like getting through that initial testing part, but also just a lot of people don't even know that the website is there. It's not very publicized on campus. So then they don't even know where to go to get questions answered, and then just go to the person that they think is the most reliable. But also, like, once again, those messages were all sent over Christmas break, and nobody really went on Blackboard during, winter break. So I feel like if we would have you would have sent it out like prior to the semester ending, it might have been easier.
Okay.
Senator Aslan, Dr. Waple might be able to answer this question a little bit better, but why was the email, one of the emails regarding mandatory testing, sent from Dean Shustrin? Because I feel like we all just spammed the heck out of Dean Shustrin because we got this email about mandatory testing as the isolated squad.
Yeah.
And is there a COVID specific email that we can use in the future so as not to spam Dean Shustrin?
Well, so you got an email from Dean Shustrin because she's in charge of the, what's the word I'm looking for?
Compliance.
Compliance, the word for compliance, and she's the compliance officer for students. So you're those students, and by mistake, and I won't go into why it happened, but by mistake, it went to the wrong group. And that's why she got bombarded with emails. And I got bombarded in the COVID. There's a COVID testing at siue.edu email that's specific. And so there is that. But she also has a dean of students at siue.edu email besides her personal one, her business one. So that's what happened. She'll probably be sending out another one for those students that weren't compliant. And what she was trying to do was she was trying to send out an email to the people that we thought had not been in compliant as a heads up before it was too late, that she was trying to be proactive instead of reactive.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I just know a lot of my peers are working remotely as grad students and then got this email and then freaked out because that's who we are as human beings. Okay. So I'm glad we've learned from this. Okay. I feel like we've learned and we're moving forward. Thank you.
You know, what's interesting. So actually everyone, Mike was in higher ed for 30 plus years, and I'm approaching 30 years now. And there's no COVID playbook. We know how to handle a lot of crises and we get trained on crises, but everyone's kind of out on their own, doing their own thing. And so we are without a playbook and actually writing it as we go. And we're humans and we make mistakes, and we sent out the wrong email trying to be proactive and then had to send a correction out. And so we're getting ready to send another one out as part of a survey to students who the registrar's office has provided to Dean Shustrin on here's who we think is on ground, either on campus or on ground living in, but online. And so there's a whole bunch of parameters there we're trying to figure out. So a little patience, appreciate it.
And I think that goes back to what Trustee Graham was saying. We have a fine line to straddle here, that if we send out an email to what we call remote students, offering them a test, I think it's just going to confuse them even more. And so that's why we've excluded them from that group of inviting them for the incentive-based testing.
Trustee Graham, one final question. What was the considerations made in making the sampling testing non-mandatory and incentive-based instead of just making those mandatory also?
The surveillance testing that we're doing now,
Yeah.
it's based on recommendations from CDC.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know that there's some other schools, U of I system, that is testing on a regular basis. But what CDC is recommending is that we do surveillance testing as a sample, that if we have a cluster, then go in and test that cluster of cases, but spend your time more with contact tracing. And so that's why we've hired 4 people to do contact tracing, so that we can get to either deal with the issue, control the issue, provide support for the people that have COVID, and put down some rumors too. I can tell you, I called 2 people today, contact tracing, and they were in some labs, and there was concern that should they close that lab down? Well, when talking to the students, they said they didn't get closer than 6 feet and were never close to anybody more than 30 seconds, not even getting to the 15 minutes that CDC would say is a close contact. So it was getting back and providing that information back to the faculty and so forth, so that we can calm some nerves down. But those 2 students that tested positive and were in a lab last week, they said, one of them told me that it was a safety protocol lab. They sat at their seats like they would in any other classroom, more than 6 feet away to the 10 people that were in that room, and never got close to anybody. But those are some of the types of issues that we're dealing with.
To clarify there, my question was more not why we chose to do sampling instead of regular tests, but why the sampling was optional instead of mandatory.
Yeah, we're looking at, yeah, we did it as incentive based. I mean, there's some people that just don't want to go that mandatory route. And I guess I would have liked to hear those questions when I came to Senate 3 times before this went into place. That never even came up as a question to look at that before the fact. But the plan was to go ahead and do it as an incentive base, to do better than what we did last semester, but not be as restrictive and mandatory, because when you do mandatory, then there's going to be consequences and so forth. And we didn't go that route.
Trustee Graham, I mean, what Mike was saying, I mean, the CDC didn't recommend doing mandatory testing throughout a term for colleges and universities, and then to monitor that. I mean, I'm just looking at you. Could you imagine every week having to test students, right? You're shaking your head, no way. And faculty and staff every week. There was a space issue. It was a cost issue in CDC, and it just we took all those recommendations and did what we thought was best for the remainder of the semester. And as many of you are aware, the vaccine is rolling out as well, which we're working on a plan for that too. So that's it.
If there are no more questions, I will now entertain a motion to close the floor for discussion.
Senator Odell so moves.
I'll move by Senator Odell. Is there a second?
Senator Hawkins, second.
Oh,
Second by Senator Hawkins. Floor is now closed for discussion. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Dr. Waple.
Thank you.
Now moving on to line item 7, new business, line 1, virtual conference funding requests. Line A, I will hand it over to Financial Officer Dreppard.
All right, the first request that we're going to hear tonight is the virtual conference funding request for Crew. They're asking for $475 for their winter conference. That will occur February 5th and 6th, and that funding will be able to send 25 of their members to that conference. This request hasn't been in front of the finance board yet. However, there is a member of the organization present. It's Colin Budd, and he can take questions if you guys are interested in asking.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. I would like to clear up something. We've actually downsized in our number that we are sending to the conference. And so we will be sending 11 students to the conference at $19 per student. And so I believe that equals $209.
Right. Thank you, Colin. If there are any questions, I will now entertain a motion to open the floor for discussion.
Senator Shahan, so moved.
Moved by Senator Shahan. Is there a second?
second, Senator Perry.
Seconded by Senator Perry. The floor is now open for discussion.
Senator Shahan, I'm just going to make this super brief because I know we all want to keep moving. Can you just explain a little bit of how this conference is really going to help you come back to campus and have a better impact on it?
Yes, thank you. So this conference really is a time for students that have been coming to our student organization this entire year to be, how do I put it? We have speakers at this conference that will help these students grow, build our community together. And so for you, those of you that don't know, Crew is a Christian organization that really is a place for believers and non-believers, but it really just creates this bond between students and it's a place of community. And so this conference is just another area where students will come together and bond over sharing what they learned from the conference and what they take out of it. And that will go into discussions following the conference.
Financial Officer Dreppard, I had a quick question as well. Kind of similar to what Senator Shahan just asked, but is there a plan for how you'll bring this information back to the members of the organization who won't be able to go to the conference and how you can kind of share some of the things that you guys did?
Of course. And so we meet weekly over Zoom, but once we are able to meet in person, we're going to meet together in the muck. And that's where discussion takes place. We'll talk about it. Our leaders in our organization will address things that were spoken of or learned. I'm sure we'll even be able to watch short clips from the conference spread to the students who don't go. And so I hope that answered.
If there are no more questions, I'll entertain a motion to close the floor for discussion.
Senator Aslan, so moved.
Moved by Senator Aslan. Is there a second?
Second by Senator Randolph.
Seconded by Senator Randolph. Floor is now closed for discussion. If anyone has any, if one necessary, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Senator Aslan, so moved.
Moved by Senator Aslan. Is there a second?
Second, Senator Perry.
I need you guys to read the, I need you to read the new business and what you're approving. So I move to approve virtual conference under new business, number 7, number 1.
My bad. Sorry.
Nope, that's okay. That's okay. We're rusty. We're coming off the break.
Right, so that was seconded by Senator Perry. We will now proceed with a roll call vote.
Senator Aslan,
Aye.
Senator Brim,
Aye.
Senator Burnett,
Aye.
Senator Childerson,
Aye.
Senator Gorin,
Aye.
Senator Hawkins,
Aye.
Senator Obert,
Aye.
Senator Odell,
Aye.
Senator Perry,
Aye.
Senator Pruitt,
Aye.
Senator Randolph,
Aye.
Senator Sherman,
Aye.
Senator Shahan,
Aye.
Senator Shaw,
Aye.
Senator Wheeler,
Aye.
and Senator Winsing.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Congratulations.
Thank
Moving on to letter B, NPHC, I will hand that back over to Financial Officer Dreppard.
So for this request, NPHC is requesting $582 to accommodate the full registration costs for 3 executive board members to go to the AFLV virtual conference. As we've discussed before, because we've approved similar requests for PHC and IFC, that'll be all throughout the month of February. So they'll be getting the logins for that. And this has been to Finance Board, and we did vote informally to approve this.
All right. When ready, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Senator Aslan, I move to approve line item 7, 1B, NPHD AFLV virtual retreat.
Has been moved by Senator Aslan. Is there a second?
Wait, I'm sorry.
You
How
can
do
just
I
say,
open the, can I do discussion or does that mean no discussion?
Well, so I know that they already so from what I heard, is that correct, Jackie? You already approved
You
of it
can
at
still
time.
open the floor for discussion. It's just I'm answering the question, so it's like hit or miss if I have the answer, but I can speak for this, yeah.
Okay. With necessary, I'll entertain a motion to open the floor for discussion. If not, then
No, hang on. I need to figure out how to say it. I want to say it, but give me just a second.
all
Sorry.
right, no worries.
you shouldn't have to do the whole novel. You can just say I move to open the floor for discussion. It's only when we motion to approve. You're good.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Senator Aslan. I move to open the floor for discussion.
It's been moved by Senator Perry. Is there a second?
Senator Brim, second.
Seconded by Senator Brim. The floor is now open for discussion.
Okay, Senator Perry here. Why, I'm saying this in the nicest way possible, but why are we voting on this like a week before? Why didn't they do this when the other 2 councils did theirs?
From my understanding, it was just that they didn't submit when we had asked them to, and I know Kelly Jo, I believe, had checked in with Tyler Manning about this and had asked them to submit, and they just didn't get on top of it. I think they had some transitions in leadership that happened around that same time, that it was just a matter of like somebody stepping up and taking that responsibility. I'm not sure if anyone else can speak to that, but
I would say they did submit within the 45 days, but which would have been in December, but because of our winter break, they didn't have the opportunity to go to a finance board. So they met their deadline. It's just, we have this happen every year with travel because it's such a short deadline. If the deadline falls really close to winter break, then we end up with this kind of weird flex. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I will echo what Financial Officer Dreppard said. They have been operating without a president. They did not have anyone step up or be interested in that role. So it's been a bit of a bumpy ride. So they're really hoping that they can get some folks to this conference and can try to get the group reorganized.
Okay, Senator Perry again. Sorry, Senator Sherman. I will ask this quickly. Didn't IFC and Panhellenic both said they had extra spots? Why can't those spots go to NPHC? Because I know their board is significantly smaller. I just feel, I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure.
No, you're good. That's a valid question. I know that they're not buying the group rate like PHC and IFC's buying. We're just getting the individual logins for them. But I know that they're also, correct me if I'm wrong, Kelly Jo, but aren't they not in that conference or something, like they're not members?
Well, yes. I mean, there's two different conferences that happen at the same time. And so they'll be going the track of the National Black Greek Leadership Conference track. But NPH or Panhellenic and IFC, and I think a member of maybe UGC, they are going together and using all the spots and spaces that they have available. So whatever the 9 logins or 18 or whatever 20 logins they got for their money, they've already figured out who on those councils are going to get those. So no, there isn't anything available, hence why they came forward and did their own request. Every student group has the right to get $600 in travel funding each annual year, and so they wanted to come forward to request their money.
Right, and I get that, but I'm just stating what was said in the last meeting when they said there was 4 extra spots and they never spoke for what they were for. And I'm really not trying to be annoying because I'm presenting myself at AFLB, so I understand how it works, but I'll just end my questions now. That's all. I was just curious why the other spots, but now you say they're going to UGC. That makes sense. I didn't know that.
And I think that they also, you know, I don't know. I don't work directly with those groups, but, you know, I think if IFC got, let's say IFC gets 9 spots and they got 7 guys that want to go, they want to fill the other 2 spots with IFC men, if that makes sense. So if if they paid for X amount, they're going to do first dibs to be like, okay, let's call some chapter presidents and see if you wanted to participate in this. And but I don't know. I'll be honest, Lindsay, I'm not sure how they've divvied that all up. I just know that each group did their own individual request, and they look a little bit different because MPHC only is sending 3. So they went the individual route versus the large group route.
If there are no more questions, I'll entertain a motion to close the floor for discussion.
Senator Aslan, so moved.
Moved by Senator Aslan. Is there a second?
Second.
Senator Shahan, second.
Seconded by Senator Shahan. The floor is now closed for discussion. When ready, I will entertain a motion to approve, and you'll be approving line item. It'll be line item 7, new business. Line 1, virtual conference funding request for line B, NPHC.
Thanks, Ronald. I motion to approve what Ronald just said.
Moved to approve by Senator Aslan. Is there a second?
Senator Shahan, second.
Seconded by Senator Shahan. We will now proceed with a roll call vote.
Senator Aslan.
Aye.
Senator Brim.
Aye.
Senator Burnett.
Aye.
Senator Childerson.
Aye.
Senator Gorin.
Aye.
Senator Hawkins.
Aye.
Senator Ober.
Aye.
Senator Odell.
Aye.
Senator Perry.
Aye.
Senator Pruitt.
Aye.
Senator Randolph.
Aye.
Senator Sherman.
Aye.
Senator Shahan.
Aye.
Senator Shaw.
Aye.
Senator Wheeler.
Aye.
Senator Winsing.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Congratulations. We will now be moving on to line item 7, new business. Line 2, program funding requests. Letter A, Honor Student Association for the Escape Room from February 26, 27, 2021 and March 5th through 6th, 2021. And I'll hand that back over to Financial Officer Dreppard.
All right. So in addition to everything that's listed on the agenda of how much they're asking for and when it's going to be, they do plan to keep the escape room sanitized in between groups going through. And they're going to keep the groups down to like 6 at a time. And this request has been through the finance board, and we did vote to informally approve that.
If there are any questions, I'll entertain a motion to open the floor for discussion. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Senator Aslan, I move to approve line 7 to a Honor Student Association escape room event.
Has been moved by Senator Aslan. Is there a second?
Senator Hawkins, second.
Seconded by Senator Hawkins. We will now proceed with a roll call vote.
Senator Aslan.
Aye.
Senator Brim.
Aye.
Senator Burnett.
Aye.
Senator Childerson.
Abstain.
Senator Gorn.
Aye.
Senator Hawkins.
Aye.
Senator Obert.
Aye.
Senator Odell.
I abstain.
Senator Perry.
Aye.
Senator Pruitt.
Aye.
Senator Randolph.
Aye.
Senator Sherman.
Aye.
Senator Shahan.
Aye.
Senator Showell.
Aye.
Senator Wheeler.
Abstain.
And Senator Winsing.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Congratulations. Moving on to line item 8, presidential appointments / personnel appointments. Line 1, election commissioner. You'll have a new position, the election commissioner position, who will be presiding over the election logistics, who will be overseeing everything that goes along with that as our election season occurs pretty soon. And that will be filled by Carson Brim. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Senator Aslan, I move to approve line item 8, number 1, election commissioner.
Nice. Moved by Senator Aslan. Is there a second?
Second by Senator Perry.
And seconded by Senator Perry. We will now proceed with a roll call vote.
Senator Aslan.
Aye.
Senator Brim. Oh, wait, no, you can't do that. Senator Burnett.
Aye.
Senator Childerson.
Aye.
Senator Gorn.
Aye.
Senator Hawkins.
Aye.
Senator Obert.
Aye.
Senator Odell.
Aye.
Senator Perry.
Aye.
Senator Pruitt.
Aye.
Senator Randolph.
Aye.
Senator Sherman.
Aye.
Senator Shahan.
Aye. Sorry.
Senator Showell.
Aye.
Senator Wheeler.
Aye.
And Senator Winsing.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Congratulations. And I will now hand it over to President Walters.
Okay, Carson, we're going to do the oath of office. So if you want to raise your right hand and follow along after me, I'll try to read through it. I state your name.
I, Carson Brim,
Solemnly promise to perform my duties and responsibilities
solemnly promise to uphold my duties and responsibilities
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
while preserving the mission and values of the university.
while preserving the mission and values of the university.
I also vow to uphold the Constitution and bylaws
I also vow to uphold the Constitution and bylaws
of SIUE student government
of SIUE student government
while striving for the betterment of the university
while striving for the betterment of the university
for all students, faculty, and staff.
for all students, faculty, and staff.
Congratulations to the new election commissioner Brim.
Congratulations. Moving on to line item 9, open forum. If there are any comments in the YouTube stream or just anyone in the audience that has anything, we are open to hearing that now. Seeing there is not, we will move on to line item 10, Senate reports.
Senator Aslan.
Hi, not much to report. University Planning and Budget Council before winter break endorsed our approval of the fee increase, which essentially just means that the chancellor is good to bring it up to the board. That's all I really got. Happy spring.
Senator Brim, well, no, Senator Burnett.
My report is in the packet, and I just want to say that trivia night, there was low attendance, but it was successful. I'm planning on next time whenever host event to coordinate with CAB because they planned a trivia the night before. So I'm thinking that may have something to do with the low attendance.
Senator Childerson.
Yeah, my report is in the packet. I have not attended any meetings yet. There was a UPBC meeting last week, but I was not able to attend. I look forward to working with Senator Beck to involve our constituents this semester, and I hope everyone has a great semester, and let's start 2021 better than 2020. Let's do it. I'm excited.
Senator Gorn.
My report is in the packet. I haven't been to any committee meetings yet, but I'm looking forward to the SOAB meeting this Friday. And then I'm also kind of serving as just like a student on the diversity committee. So I'm excited to work with Diversity Officer McKenzie on that. And then like Senator Bernay said, the trivia night was successful even with low attendance.
Senator Hawkins.
My report is in the packet. I have not attended any meetings yet. ICAC postponed theirs last week. That being said, I hope everyone had a great break. Mine sure didn't feel long enough, and I'm excited to get back on the horse.
Senator Obert.
My report is in the packet. I have not had any committee meetings yet, and I'm excited.
Senator Odell.
My report is in the packet. I have also not had any committee meetings yet. I'm hoping that this semester I can actually kick off the school supply drive that I have been working on. And big congratulations to Carson for her new position. I know you're going to do a great job.
Senator Perry.
My report is in the packet. Mandatory testing is done. So thanks for your input on that. I guess I attended a lot of meetings if that, yeah, so I say the meetings. I'm excited for diversity committee this semester. It's going to be great, and I hope to work with a lot of on-campus amenities. And also shout out to Senator Aslan for helping me get the grad school Facebook page up and running. So if you know any grad students, tell them to join. It's fun and casual conversations with other students on campus. It's going to be a great semester. Yeehaw.
Senator Pruitt.
My report is also in the packet. I just want to mention that me and the other freshman senators, Shahan, are planning to do an Among Us night for the freshmen on Wednesday, and we've been trying to work together to work on some things for the freshmen coming up, because I know they felt kind of left out last semester and that they haven't been able to communicate with each other and stuff like that. So we've been working on some things that we can do COVID friendly, of course, COVID safe, you know what I mean, for this semester.
Senator Randolph.
My report is in the packet. I'm looking forward to my committee meetings that for this semester, and I know me and Senator Jones are trying to schedule a meeting with the dean for the School of Engineering and also the associate dean to talk about plans for this semester. And also I think we're trying to figure out a trivia night for the School of Engineering.
Senator Sherman?
My report is in the packet. Like Senator Hawkins said, our ICAC meeting got canceled, so it's moved to the end of February, and I'm looking forward to the next marketing committee meeting.
Senator Shahan?
My report is in the packet. If you want, you can read my first paragraph. It just kind of outlines what the freshmen have been saying in the past few weeks, but I don't really want to be a broken record, take up a bunch of time. So feel free, if you haven't, to check it out. And like Senator Pruitt said, we are trying to plan some stuff for the freshmen. They have felt very isolated, and I'm just hoping to get some stuff out for them in the next few weeks. ICAC, like everybody else said, was moved to February, and I have a finance board meeting this Friday, so I will be excited to report on all of that next meeting. Hope everybody has a great start to their semester.
Senator Shaw?
My report is in the packet, and after a very short 2 weeks of winter break, the pharmacy school is back in session and running since the beginning of January. So the next ASP committee is going to be meeting on Monday, February 8th, so in about 2 weeks. And I also look forward to working with Senator Wensing to get our constituents involved.
Senator Wheeler?
My report is in the packet. I don't have much to report on either. Like ICAC, everyone said about the ICAC meeting, you heard that. There's an SOAB meeting on Friday, so I look forward to that. And I just look forward to working with all of you again this semester and hope that we can get through another one together.
Senator Wensing?
My report is in the packet. I just wanted to touch on what Senator Shao and I are planning to do this semester for the School of Pharmacy. So we are wanting to send out a survey to kind of gauge pharmacy students' feelings about the new semester and whether or not they feel burnt out or if they're having Zoom fatigue or anything, just to check on like their mental health. And then we're also considering doing another senator meet and greet sometime soon this semester. We had a great turnout last semester. And a lot of students were able to voice any concerns to us. So we're hoping to have another successful turnout for that, but more updates about that to come.
Moving on to line item 11, executive reports.
President Walters?
My report is in the packet, and just a reminder about the new VC EDI Search Committee's student session that's going to be tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. The Zoom information is in your email, and I also put it on Teams.
Vice President Akpan?
My report is in the packet. We have 2 open spots for Senate currently for this semester. We now have the one for School of Education, Health, and Human Behavior. And we have another one for the College of Arts and Science for the math and science position. So if you know of anybody who would like to apply for those, spread the word. The applications will be open until next Friday on February 5th.
Trustee Graham?
My report is in the packet, and I included information on how much SIUC and SIUE received from the second federal COVID relief bill. So just make sure to check that out.
Financial Officer Druppert?
My report is in the packet. Our next finance board is this Friday, the 29th. And then in addition to that, I'll be speaking to the incoming fraternity and sorority leaders on Sunday to go over some of the funding opportunities that student government has available and other resources.
Internal Affairs Officer Lutz?
My report is in the packet. Like I said in pre-meeting, if your schedule has changed and you can no longer attend your committee meetings, please let me know tonight so that I can get that sorted out this week. Also, please just make sure you're attending your committee meetings and communicating with your committee chair if you are not able to attend. But other than that, I will be in the process after committees are sorted to finish planning our bonding event for February. So stay tuned for that.
And External Affairs Officer Kyle?
My report's in the packet. For the next upcoming month, I'm planning a Menzie Project donation drive with SIUE Women's Studies program. Also just trying to work on a time to find for my committee to meet. So I'll be in the office some days this week and next week.
Marketing Communications Officer Ballard.
Thank you to everyone that came to the photo shoot today. I greatly appreciate it. I will be reaching out to the Marketing Communication Committee this week to see what time and day of the week works best for you. And then also I will be sharing some flyers for the open Senate positions, so please pass those around to others. Thank you.
Organization Relations Officer Atkin.
Our next SOAB meeting is this Friday. Speech and Debate Club is going to be there. I've been speaking with Wildlife and Conservation Biology Club and SDM about some issues they were having. And I'm just really excited to get to work for this semester.
Student Diversity Officer McKenzie.
My report's in the packet, and I would just like to add that I met with the CSDI and we narrowed down the finalists for the Martin Luther King Scholarship, and interviews will take place later this week.
And Election Commissioner Brim.
My report is in the packet. I just look forward to another successful semester.
Thank you. Moving on to line item 12, announcements. If anybody within SG has any announcements, now's the time to hear them.
I've got a couple. Number one, good game, Carson, changing your name already. Touche, good job. But I wanted to make sure that folks know and realize that Campus Activities Board has a lot of stuff going on. If you go and check out their page through Kimmel or their Get Involved site, you will see there are a lot of upcoming take and make activities, and they've got some really fun, cool stuff coming. As well as the CAB Black Heritage Month events are up on the website too. So you can see what's coming up, and some of them are pre-registration required. Some of them are open and available. So just go and definitely check those things out.
I have a couple too. So as you all know, I work in leadership programs. Right now we have a lot of stuff going on. I definitely emailed you all about it. Won't go into too much of it, but we have a lot of leadership events coming up, which I think would be really great for all of you. We have Catalyst, which is in person, a one-day event that you can register for on Get Involved, as well as a resilience program, which is over the course of the semester. It's 3 modules all online. Both of those are really great options. And then also we are currently recruiting for our Emerging Leaders program. So if you want to spend more time with me, or if you know students who you think should spend time with me, you should tell them to sign up for Emerging Leaders. It's really fun. It's 8 weeks, Tuesday from 4 to 5. And that is also on Get Involved, on the Leadership Programs Get Involved page.
I just want to say that I am excited for the possibility of having students in the office soon. I miss you all, and Zoom is just not the same as seeing you all face to face.
I wanted to give Dr. Waple an opportunity if there's anything else that wasn't covered by Mike or Dennis that you wanted to offer. I think this is the time to add anything.
Am I missing something, Kelly Jo?
Are
you trying to lead me to a question?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I just didn't know if there's a lot of information flying about COVID, about testing, about tier 2. I just didn't know if there was anything additional. I know the students, we were talking before you joined, and the students had shared some anecdotal information about their first week of class or their peers' first week of class. And I said, you know, if you have an opportunity to share that, however you'd like to receive that feedback, if you would like them to send that to you, if you want them to email.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you have things you're hearing, questions, concerns, please email me. been answering them all day. If they are academic, though, if they have to do with courses or classes or those type of things, those go either to Provost Cobb or to Dr. Bill Obrajic, who's Associate Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management. But if it's other issues like testing and things, please send them our way. We're trying to answer those. We are, I can say this. Miriam and Kelly Jo work together. We will be reopening some of the small group meeting spaces in the Student Success Center on Wednesday. They were closed in Tier 3. We've been, now that we're in Tier 2, we just didn't have time to flip those by the weekend to get ready. So those will be opening on the COVID website. And I know if you just go to the main page, you'll see the COVID website. You click on there, there's safety and resources. There's a list, and I wasn't totally aware of it either. A list of all the safe spaces that you can study on campus, including several classrooms in most buildings. And then there are hours for those as well. So the academic buildings are open on the weekend too. So if you're looking for a place to get to study or do some things, those are open as well. We are hoping, as I think you all are, to get to Tier 1 and get to Phase 4 sometime this spring. I know it's challenging. You know, Miriam and Dean Shuster and I were talking this morning, and Dr. Bodie, our leadership team, that it's challenging because there are 3 regions in Illinois who are in Phase 4. So they're already back to where things were for us in September and October. There are 3 regions in Tier 1, including my daughter who's up in Chicago, who just let me know that the restaurants have reopened in Chicago. And we're in Tier 2, which is now the lowest tier if you think about mitigations, and have the most mitigation. So that's kind of what's happening. I see Senator Perry's asked this question. I think she knows this answer, but I think she just wants to irritate me. I don't know. But so Christian Smalls, the question is about graduation. And I know people are very curious about that. Christian Smalls, who works in the marketing communications, we're looking at many options. We actually had an idea in December. We were going to have different places on campus for different colleges to go. They were going to get their diploma live, not with guests, but live and from a university administrator in front of the SIUE backdrop. Kelly Jo was looking at spaces in the muck. We had them all spread out, and then the mitigations came out and that canceled that. So I think at the very least, we may attempt to do something like that. Now, December is easier than May. It might have to be spread out over several days. But we're also, we are investigating. What did I say? Investigating. So don't say doing, just investigating. Maybe doing outside of Cordy. It would have to take a lot of things to make that happen. So we are, if you don't know this, I love sharing this. Chancellor Pembroke loves commencement. It's one of his most favorite things to do in the world. And he, like many of us, were so disappointed in May and December to have virtual commencement. We like to get away from that at all possible. So hang in there. We know by end of March, beginning of April, we have to make a decision because of all the planning it takes to do that. So that's what we're thinking about with commencement.
Thanks, Dr. Waple. I didn't mean to put you on the spot with anything.
Oh, no, and you know, Kelly Jo, so the MUC is open on the weekend. The Student Success Center is open from 7 a.m. to midnight. There are a lot I know people like those private rooms to get into, but we're only going to have a couple chairs in there because we're still being socially distant. There are lots of chairs in the students. There's lots of spaces in the SSC and then the MUC to grab a spot and look at and study. And it's quiet anyway. I mean, it's pretty much quiet on the weekends. And you know, I know we're looking at outdoor activities as soon as the weather gets a little better. So, you know, just a little bit more patience here through February. And I think we'll be in the Mets. I really do. I think by the end of February, we'll be either in Tier 1 or Phase 4. And we'll be able to do more things. And then as the weather gets better, we'll be doing more things outside and maybe opening up some additional venues. So fingers crossed. Yes, fingers crossed on everything.
Yeah, Miriam posted the link if anyone wants to check out the Safe Spaces to Study. Link is in the chat. I will tell you my last two things. Number one, you never know who's watching us on YouTube. I just got a text message from a former trustee, Dylan Santoni, shout out to him, who's probably, I think, in Chicago, maybe Springfield, watching us live and reminiscing. So you never know who's watching. And then last but not least, I wanted to share with this group, because she's never on here, is that Vicki Sumner is going to be retiring at the end of April. So for some of you, you may have never even seen Vicki in person, sadly. But if you happen, she's only going to be on campus one day in the evening. So you may not actually even see her, but maybe at some point we'll invite her to come to the last Senate meeting or something, that she'll be able to be appropriately thanked for all of her years of hard work working with student government and our clubs and orgs. So.
And I think the last, I'll add one last thing here, Kelly Jo, if you will, and Sarah and the advisors. So, you know, I think you have to be comfortable. So, you know, as we get into Tier 1 and the Phase 4, and if you remember, Phase 4 is we can have meetings up to 50 or less, socially distant. I think you have to think about, if we go there, are you ready to be in a space all together for a meeting and not virtual? I know we're tired of Zooming, but then we all have to say, yep, we're going to come and be in a space, either the Madison room or Fixin's. Kelly Jo has space, but it's socially distant. But is that something we're ready to do? And so you all have to think about that. I know we don't like Zooming, and Rob and I agree with you. I don't like Zooming at all. And I'd like to get back to face-to-face, but in groups, you got to be comfortable in that space, whether people had the vaccine or not, whether they've had COVID or not. We'll still be in mask. Trust me, we will be in mask probably through summer, if not longer. But just think about that as we move forward, the readiness of students to be more face-to-face. And I'll end on that.
Dr. Whipple, I'm just going to be glad just to have a couple people face-to-face at a time.
You can come see me. I'm here.
Me too. Me too. You can come see me.
I'll come see you. Sure. I'll come see you. Someone want to end the meeting?
Senator Aslan, I move to adjourn.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry, my computer is being spotty. So yes, moving on to line 13, adjournments. Motion to adjourn has been moved by Senator Aslan. I will now adjourn the Senate meeting at 7:29 p.m. Have a good day, everyone.